You're listening to Brandon Sports Talk, interviewing professional athletes and Paralympians and Olympians. And now for your professional athlete interview and your host, Brandon P. Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing former NFL players slash CFL player and Super Bowl champion Bruce Johnson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in playing in professional football?
Man, it was just basically a childhood dream of mine that I started. I have a bloodline of football people in my family, like basically my uncles. I just started following up behind them and fell in love with the game. And once I knew I could, play it very well, I just took a love into it, man. And I couldn't keep a football out of my hand, so it just went on from there.
What was that feeling like going to college and going to Miami Hurricanes to play collegiate football?
Basically, it was a dream come true, man. It was something that I had been wanting to do all my life. I always was coming up when I first started. I did like Florida State. I'm not gonna lie. Was because I had an uncle who went to school there. He didn't play in the athletics. We just knew he went to school there, and we were just Florida State fans. But then I had another uncle that played football as well, and so he didn't take that route and go to FSU. He went to the University of Miami. So me looking up to him, following his footsteps, man, I just seen how everything was down there, and that drew me. I said, forget Florida State, and man, I was a Hurricane from then on out.
What was that feeling like going to Miami Hurricanes and getting to put on that jersey and representing them?
Well, when I first fell in love with the University of Miami, I did my research, and man, I always heard about the great tradition of all the past players playing there, and how they have a great tradition there and go on to the next level. And man, just to see that swagger and just the tenacity that they had, I knew I wanted to be a part of it because it fit my description of how I am as a person, and I knew that would have been the perfect fit for me, man. Just the way that I carry myself and with so much confidence and things that I know I could do. Miami was the perfect fit for me.
While at Miami, what were some of your biggest accomplishments on the football field?
Well, one of my biggest accomplishments was I got to play. Like I told you, my uncle went there, so he got red shirted, so he was there 5 years. So my freshman year, I got to play with him. So that was kind of a surreal moment because we always ran around as little kids, playing in the yard, doing things of that sort. And then finally get to play with him on that collegiate level. It was like a great one of the greatest feelings I've had. Another great accomplishment was it's a summer workout poster that you gotta work all summer to get, and it's a few times that I felt that I should have been on that poster, and like two times my freshman and sophomore year. I know my sophomore year for sure. I knew I was gonna make that poster, man, and I didn't make the poster, and that just crushed me because I worked so hard. But the next year, I finally made that poster, so that was like a big accomplishment for me, man, just to show all the hard work I did for the summer coming up towards the season, and just to be on that poster.
While at Miami, what was that feeling like getting to play with your uncle who grew up with you and was playing football with you?
Like I said, it was just a surreal moment because it's like, man, we were just playing in the front yard in my grandma's house, playing with playing against each other as little kids. So every time that he goes on to the next level, I miss playing with him because he goes to high school. Then right after that, once he leaves, I come in. So luckily he got redshirted his freshman year and didn't get to play. So he had an extra year and he stayed all 5 years. So just being there, learning from him, learning how the system works and how to play football and how to be a professional, it really gave me a one up on some guys in the competition of and as how to go and be a professional in football.
What was that experience like getting to play in the ACC and playing against teams like UNC, Duke, NC State, and even Clemson?
That was very exciting as well. Being going to Clemson my freshman year because I didn't redshirt. Going to Clemson playing my freshman year, that was my first time flying actually. So going there, that's loud. The stadium's rocking. We won in like what 3 overtimes that game. Um, that experience alone just set the tone for me to let me know that I was really into college football, Division I football, and it's really real, and it's gonna be like this every week. And playing against the UNCs, the NC States, and Dukes, those set me up for later on in life because some of those guys that I played against were some of my teammates playing with the New York Giants when I moved on. So just building a good camaraderie and competitiveness against other competitors did was a good thing for me.
Of course, what was that coming like out of Miami and going into the NFL and signing with the New York Giants?
At first, man, it was a stressful process because, as you know, I didn't get drafted going into that season, thinking I was gonna get drafted. Didn't get drafted, so everything was just up in the air for me at that time. I didn't know where I was gonna go. Got a few calls for some people to come work out, and finally got that call from the Giants to say, "Hey, forget workout. We're gonna bring in the training camp." And from that moment on, I knew that it was over. Like I don't care where I go undrafted. I don't care who's in front of me. All I know is I'm gonna make the team, and I can't come back home. So that was my main goal.
What was that feeling like when you did get to sign with the Giants and become a professional athlete?
I felt that all the hard work, all the sweat and tears that I put in coming up from being a 5 year old, sleeping with my football each and every day, all the hard work just paid off. Even though I had a little bump, didn't get drafted, but I just knew that something deep down in me knew that I could make that team. All I needed was a shot, and all the hard work that I had, it just paid off, and it really showed me that dreams do come true. Because I dreamed at that time ever since I was a little boy. I used to sit and watch VHS tapes of. I had 2 tapes I used to watch. One was like of the Cowboys, and one was another one where they showed all the teams. I used to watch them 2, 3, maybe 4 times a day. So just to get there and be able to sign that on that dotted line and be a part of that 52-man roster, it was just like a dream come true to me, and it's a great feeling that it's hard to explain.
Going into your first game, what was that feeling like getting to put on your New York Giants uniform and having your name on the back of it?
It made me feel like, man, I really made it. Like, is this real? I had to really go over there and touch the jersey because through training camp, I had number 37 on. And then I finally got in the 25. And once I seen my jersey, I came in there and seen my jersey sitting up there with the likes of Justin Tucks, O.C. Human Euros, Brandon Jacobs, Eli Manning. I mean, I'm in New York City. What can you tell me? What can you tell me? Man, the feeling was just so great. And I knew once I put it on that at that organization, they don't bring just anybody in there and let them play, man. They had a great organization. And when they trust you to be on the field and represent the New York Giants, that means they think highly of you. And for me to just be able to have my jersey sitting up there with my name on it and knowing that they let me go out to battle for them, man, it meant the world to me.
Going into your first game and facing the the Dallas Cowboys, what was that feeling like when you did get that interception from Romo?
Man, that one. It was like, is this really happening right now? Because, like you say, all the dreams that I was coming, I finally got on the team, finally playing, and now I'm really getting a pick six here against the Dallas Cowboys in this stadium where we first, when they first opened it. It was just a surreal moment. Shout out to the Antonio Pierce, the Las Vegas interim head coach right now, because I always tell people if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have never ever got that interception, because we were in one play and he's so smart. He's seen something. I don't know what he's seen, but I didn't care. I just did what he told me to do, checked out of the play. And when I did that, I did what I was supposed to do. And when I got the pick six, man, and I always give my props to him. I tell people back home, I always give my props to him for helping me get that interception.
Of course, what was that feeling like on that following Monday, getting to play the Washington Redskins and getting that your first interception?
Are you talking about the one with the when they tried to do the field goal and they?
Hmm.
Okay, so that was the second one. So after that one, it was a weird setup. Didn't know really what they were doing. I just know I had my man. They called a play. They messed it up. They had to redo it again. I thought they were just going to line up and go ahead and kick the field goal, but they did it again. So I was like, well, this time, I know they're probably not going to throw it to my side. If they do throw it to the other side, I'm just going to sprint over there and whatever happens, happens. And luckily, it just came my way. And I got the ball and ran as far as I could before I got tired, man. But they were all on me. They told me I should have scored that time. But, I mean, my legs gave out on me.
Of course, what was that preparation like leading up to the Super Bowl and getting to compete in the Super Bowl?
Um, it was just a lot of not so much physical, a lot of mental. Just learning what you got to do. You got guys over there like Tom Brady. Those guys, they haven't lost a game, so it's a lot of mental. You got to be mentally prepared to play those type of games, and with the magnitude and the what's at stake. So just leading up, man, there's just a lot of mental preparation for the game and everything.
Of course, in 2001, what was that feeling like getting to compete in the Super Bowl and getting to go against the Baltimore Ravens?
Okay, so that one, I didn't get to the Giants until I was six. I'm sorry.
Of course, what was some of your favorite memories and moments getting to compete as a New York Giants?
Okay, my first ones were when I first realized that I made the team. I was sitting in there. The last preseason game was against the Patriots. Um, some type of way I twisted my ankle. Didn't finish the game, but my ankle was hurt kind of bad. Was in the training room on the training table. Coach Coughlin came in and was like, "Hey man, can I trust you?" And I would say, "Yes, sir. Of course you can." He said, "All right," and then he walked off. So right then, we had meetings, so I knew I made the team. I was on the team. I wasn't on practice squad. I was on the 52-man roster. After that, first game of the season, I'm out there playing against the Redskins. I do have a pretty good game to be honest. I get the player of the game. I get the game ball and everything. So that just kind of was another step of me solidifying that I knew I needed to be there playing in the NFL at that time. So that was a real good experience for me.
What was that a feeling like getting to compete against the Patriots and going into the Super Bowl?
Oh, it's a great feeling, man. Just going there with the guys. You got a game plan, they got a game plan, and they're 16-0, and we're trying to stop that. And just being in there and going against those type of guys, it was a great feeling, man. And it's something that is hard to explain, man. It's a great feeling.
What was that feeling like for you getting to put on that New York Giants uniform at the Super Bowl versus putting it on for the first time?
Like I say, man, those dreams just kept coming true for me. And every time that I put it on for the New York Giants, I go out there and give it my all. So it was just a great experience.
What were some of your favorite memories and moments getting to play with quarterback Eli Manning?
Training camp, I would say training camp, because that was where I really had to prove myself. A couple times, like I said, I was undrafted, bottom of the depth chart, and sometimes a couple guys got hurt, and a lot of times I had to run with the twos and threes, and he would be there sometimes, quarterbacking the ones, of course, and sometimes with two group. And a couple times, maybe once or maybe twice, I got me an interception off of him. So that was, what I'm saying, kind of big for me as well. Even though we was in practice, you know, it was kind of good. Like if you got your interception off of him, and just for me to get one, it felt pretty good for me, man. Just seeing him battle every week, and whatever the critics or the people say, and he still battle, man. He's a tough guy, and I always give him credit for helping me get my first Super Bowl ring.
Of course, after winning the Super Bowl, what was that feeling like getting to put on that Super Bowl ring and knowing all of your hard work paid off?
Man, like I tell you, bro, it's hard to explain because I come from like a small town where a lot of us, we have some talent, but a lot of us don't get to the NFL. If you do, you don't really get to the Super Bowl. So being one of the few that come from where I'm from to be able to say I got a Super Bowl ring was just icing on the cake for me. Making it to the NFL alone was good enough, but just getting to the Super Bowl, which is the goal and the pinnacle of football, NFL football, it was just icing on the cake for me, and I'll always cherish that.
After your time in the NFL, what was that transition like going from the Giants to the CFL to Winnipeg Blue Jets?
I didn't want to go. It was kind of hard for me. I didn't want to go. I was trying to do everything I could to try to find a way to stay in the NFL, but like life happens, so you gotta take other obstacles. I didn't want to go. When I did finally go, I didn't want to leave from the CFL. I had a great time in the CFL. The only thing is different was the pay, but other than that, the playing football, the living, having fun, and just being a professional athlete of the whole thing, it's a great experience for me. I wouldn't take nothing from it. I had a great time, and it was a crazy transition at first, but once I got there and seeing everything and how it was still football at the end of the day.
While with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, what were some of your favorite memories and moments competing with them?
Basically, just meeting new people, meeting some of the Canadian guys up there, meeting some of the other guys who have been like through the journey that I've been on, trying to provide for their families, trying to just play a game that they love and still trying to keep the dream alive. It was a great experience. Those guys are very friendly, especially the Canadian guys. They're very friendly. They're very welcoming to the American players, and just getting to know those guys and learn a different culture was everything for me.
What were some of the things that you were able to take over with your time in the NFL with the Giants and winning a Super Bowl to help you when coming to Winnipeg?
When I came over there, man, I just wanted to bring a championship culture. I think that's what they brought me in for. We have the guys like Maurice Leggett. He played with the Kansas City Chiefs. He had a great resume on his shoulders, and just bring guys like that in to come help play and bring a championship culture. Because when we came in, they were cleaning house with what they had. They were taking players out, bringing a new coach O'Shea in, and with him came us some new guys. So we were trying to get that culture of a championship winning team going. I mean, we did our best. We got it up a little bit. Then some of us guys had to get released and off the team, but after that, they got it going, man, and they won a few of themselves. So I'm really proud of the coach O'Shea and what he's done with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
As a player, what is it like getting to see your fans wearing your jersey, whether it's your New York Giants jersey or your Winnipeg jersey?
It's always great to see things like that because you always see stuff like that on TV. And like I say, I'm from a small town and we don't really get to experience that as a person. We get to see it all the time. We don't get to experience it, but just seeing that and seeing people wear your jersey and have your number out there, it's crazy, but it's a surreal moment. So you just it pushes you to just go harder and work harder.
As a player, what is it like getting to see your fans asking for your autographs and photos with you?
It's become normal. At first, man, it was like, golly, is this for real? People really want your autograph, but after a while, it's normal now. It's part of the business. What I do. The kids love it. I don't mind doing stuff for the kids. The parents do it for their kids, so it's nothing for me. So it's no problem.
Throughout your football career, what have been some of the things that you've learned from your time in the NFL and CFL?
Patience. You gotta have character. You gotta have discipline. It's a great outlook on life. It'll help you with life as far as dealing with people and how people act, man. So I say like football all the time is a reflection of life, and I try to teach that all the time to my young kids that I have in my nonprofit organization, my youth football nonprofit organization. So just discipline your character and how you carry yourself and how you represent yourself.
What has been that transition like going from playing football to like after football?
It wasn't a smooth one at first because you think you're gonna play football forever, but that's not how it works. Your body starts to tear down. Business aspect gets into it. And then you're trying to see what you're gonna do afterwards. Luckily for me, I love the game so much. I fell into wanting to help and help people out with some football and stuff. Kind of train them up. I have a youth nonprofit organization, football team, and I have a few coaches. They help the kids get better with football, and so I know the things that I needed or should have had when I was coming up and didn't have, and I still made it. So if I can give the knowledge that I have to these kids now, I'm sure a larger percentage of them will be able to get a chance to go to the next level.
Who are some of the players that you look up to in the football community, whether it's in the NFL or CFL?
My uncle was the one who I always looked up to because, like I say, we played ever since I was a little kid in the park, in the front yard, seeing him come up play high school, his work ethic. So he's always been one that I've liked to follow suit. Kelly Jennings. I've always liked the Emmitt Smiths of the world, the Randall Cunninghams, those old guys like Dion's. Some of those old guys back in the day when you could really take the head off when you're playing football, man.
Of course, after your time in the NFL and CFL, what has that been like starting up your foundation and your nonprofit?
Just like everything, it takes a lot of work, but I know the goal and what I'm trying to do it for, and it's basically to help these kids, man, because we all need these kids are the future, and they need some guidance. They need a lot of guidance, and if I could be standing in the gap to help, be the one to help those kids, or even give them a shot to move in the right direction, then that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't care how much work it takes, how strenuous it is. I'm gonna do what I need to do to be able to give these kids a chance to help with what we have going on.
What advice would you give those future people looking to play collegiate football?
Excuse me, say that one more time.
What advice would you give future people out there looking to play college football?
Man, I would tell them, man, always be early to the meetings. Always have your notebook and stuff. Have your stuff wrote down. Always be in front. Work hard. Don't give no talk back. Have character, man, and just and bust your tail. Get some effort.
What advice would you give those college football players out there looking to get into the NFL or even CFL?
Get good film. The film do not lie. Anytime they want to see you or talk to you, they're gonna ask about film. So make sure you get something on film.
What advice would you give those future NFL players out there that are looking to get that Super Bowl win and that Super Bowl opportunity to play?
Man, it start in the locker room. Those guys got to have a good relationship in the locker room. Those guys, they got has to be a player-led team. If everybody can't get together and rock as one and do stuff together, then it's gonna be hard to win a championship. Everybody has to be as one, and that's what we had at the Giants the year we won it. Man, everybody was cool, whether you were on the offense, on the defense. It wasn't just the defensive guys hanging together, just the offensive guys. It was both. So that's what those guys need, and they just need to be playing for each other. Take the egos out of it.
What advice would you give those professional football players out there that are looking to transition from playing in the NFL to going to the CFL like you did?
Like I say, man, you just gotta have film. Try to stay healthy. I used to think it was your way out of not playing football again, going to the CFL. That's the reason I didn't want to go. But I've seen a lot of guys come to the CFL, do what they do, get good film, and go right back to the NFL and play. A lot of guys that's kicking right now. I think what's the kicker? Man, I forget his name, but he's kicking right now for the NFL team, man. There's plenty of guys. So you just have to get good film out there, man, for those guys to see you and stay in shape.
What advice would you give those professional football players out there that are looking to transition from playing football to life after football?
Start planning now. Don't think football is gonna be forever. Start budgeting, saving, so you can fund what you want to do afterwards. That's one of my advices I give to the guys.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at BBJ Official. I am on Twitter at BBJ Official as well. And I just have Facebook as my name, Bruce Johnson.
Thank you again, Bruce Johnson, for your interview, and best of luck in your future wherever it may hold you.
All right, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Bruce Johnson, for your interview, and best luck in your future.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.